WRKS FM, New York, home of the Tom Joyner Morning Show. The most fun and information in New York's favorite classic soul and today's R&B. All day on 98.7 KISS FM.
Our special for you right here. This is our last Weekend Review broadcast on 98.7 KISS FM. As a matter of fact, the Weekend Review dates back to even before I came to the radio station. It was a magazine format back in those days. Rich Lamb, who used to be at this radio station, he's at CBS now, was the host. And then he left and I took over.
Wow.
Bob Slade is my name.
That's a little history.
That's a little history right there. And we continued the magazine, and we'll reminisce about some of the things that took place during the last 30 years or so with the Week in Review. And a good evening to you. It's a live broadcast. We're taking your phone calls. You can text us at 23123. Like to hear from you. Get your comments on the air. Open line at 987kissfm.com. You can do that as well. And what else, Pickett? What are you saying?
And we have a quitter.
A Twitter
account. And you can
it is a Twitter account.
Right.
It is a Twitter account.
All right, Twitter us at Week in Review NYC. That's at Week in Review NYC. We'd love to hear your comments and read your comments as well.
All right, very good. Let me introduce the panel who have already introduced themselves. Joining me, as always, our legal analyst, former judge attorney Bob Pickett's in the house. We have the cut man, Charles W. Etheridge III, and the undercover brother, the flame-throwing. You know who he is, no nonsense. What's his name?
Solid.
Peter Noel. There we go.
Hey, man, did you see Pickett trying to come into the 21st century? You Twitter us, no, you tweet.
Those folks with video cameras, I want you to take a look of people in the studio. Pickett's wearing sunglasses. God knows why.
Yeah, because it's too much light in here.
Get out of here with that nonsense. And also,
everybody is a star.
Yeah, right. And also, Peter came with a bandana on.
Why is this strange to you? I've been coming in here for battle for years like this. I wear my afro, you don't like it. I wear a bandana, you don't like it. What do you want?
Well, I want you to put some Grecian Formula 16 on that bad boy. Darken it up a little bit. You don't get past security.
Hey, brother, you know me. I come for blood every night. You know that.
I see that, yeah. Well, anyway, we have an interesting broadcast. We talk about the legacy of the Week in Review, because without the Week in Review, we would not have Open Line. And without the Week in Review, we would not even have Soul Beginnings, which is preempted tonight for this special show on the Week in Review. And we got a lot of things to talk about.
Thank you, Bob.
Peter says, by the way, he wants to talk about some news first off. We're going to take your phone calls. I'm together at 1-800-288-5477. You have some comments about KISS FM through the years. You know, as Reverend Sharpton said, you know, we want to hear from you.
Right.
You got a lot of things to say. Just spit it out. We got a room full of folks. Some of these folks will get a chance to say a few words. We got some KISS personalities will be stopping by and saying some things through the course of our 2 hours. It's going to be very, very interesting, and I hope you have a good time. You can participate by picking up the phone and giving us a call.
And check in with us on Twitter at Week in Review.
But Twitter.
Twitter at Week in Review NYC. Oh, by the way, Bob, since we are in Soul Beginning hour, let me say this. It's sad that Soul Beginning sort of ends here. It was a great show. You, as a music historian, did a wonderful job on that show.
Thank you.
And I think we have something like 500 shows.
More than that. There's a lot more than that. Yeah.
Is it 600 shows?
Over that. Yeah.
It's an incredible amount of shows. And it's a great honor to.
Well, you're a participant in that as well.
Yeah.
And
it was a great team.
We had a lot of people who were involved in that, dating back to Brother Fatine, as a matter of fact, was a producer on that as well. We had Trev Hollywood. He was a producer on Soul Beginnings. Zab Thomas. All the people who participated in that, we really do appreciate that. And of course, that show came about because we won a Peabody Award for the rise and fall of VJ Records. Back in 1995. We actually were awarded for a 1994 broadcast, but did win the Peabody for that.
You won the Peabody?
No, well, we won.
Yeah, you put it together, the show. Yeah.
And for those who were part of it.
And for those out there who don't understand what a Peabody is, it's the Academy Award for broadcast journalism and broadcast programs.
Yeah.
Thank you, Pickett.
Very proud of that. I guess it's going to be one of these days, one of these nights. Anyway,
It is going to be one of these nights.
it's 10:06, and Peter said, "Well, let's do some news. Let's talk about some news." All right, Peter. No, well, we're going to do that. President Barack Obama, of course, was very busy last night with the White House Correspondents' dinner. And he had some good cracks. It wasn't as good as last year. I'm gonna be honest with
Well,
you.
the events wasn't as salacious, as this year's. I mean, really.
Yeah.
The events last year were very, very salacious, very controversial. So they wrote some better material last year.
He said he wanted to get out quickly because he had to put the Secret Service to bed.
But great line. You know what?
Curfew.
See the issue with the dogs. The issue with the dogs. I like how he jumped out front. In Trinidad, we have this saying: "Take in front before in front take you." In that you put that issue out there. So that
I missed that in translation.
I'll say it in English.
Yeah, thank you.
Take in front before in front takes you.
Oh, okay.
All right. That means then that you preempt. It's a preemptive strike. So he took the issue of the dogs, and as everybody knows, they've been attacking Romney for putting his dog Seamus on top of his car, right? So and the president wrote in his book that he ate dog as a child in Indonesia, right? Dog meat. So the point is, as he said, he made all the dog jokes, all the eating the dog jokes, and nobody could come up with this. The Republicans have nowhere they can attack him on this issue anymore. He made fun of it at the expense of himself.
Well, this is in news. But I would have liked to have seen the president, rather than joke about dogs, put some money on black radio so maybe some of us could hang around for a while. But his campaign didn't spend no money the last time, didn't spend no money in 10, and, I haven't heard anything about it coming this year. Right about now, I think we have our own things to commiserate or be grateful for or to talk about. And I'd like to see the energy kept there. There have been a few callers that have called up and said that, this is all part of the conspiracy to keep Obama from being president. Y'all need to get a new soap opera.
Yeah.
Because that ain't what this is about. This is about business. This is about Madison Avenue putting a stranglehold on a station like KISS, whose revenues plummeted from a high of $28 to $30 million a year in ad revenue to 13. It's about a whole lot of rating technologies that favor general market white stations in this city that were dead in the water that are now flying high. Okay, so let's not. We got enough problems without being simple about it. Let's understand the dynamics of what happened and understand why it happens, because if you don't understand why, you can't learn from it.
All right, very quickly, some other stories I want to touch on. Cutman took a detour, but that's okay.
That's right.
Let's talk about. Wait a minute. Whoa.
What's new?
Yeah, that's true. He always does that. But I also want to talk about a real tragic story.
Yes.
7 members of one family. Unbelievable story. They're killed in a car accident.
In the Bronx.
Up in the Bronx. That was just so sad. You're talking about little children, bodies spread all over the place. It's tough for even the veteran firefighters and the people who came to rescue to really take. It was just a sad story.
Yeah, that's a very, they said it was a very treacherous part of the road. That's the second accident in that area. And the way they were talking about that, she suddenly swerved away, hit the embankment and swerved into, and then fell 50 feet over. Something went wrong there. I don't think it's something wrong with the vehicle. Either she got distracted, somebody gave her a bad ride, something, man. That is like, around this time, last year, there was another bad accident where like 6 or 7 people again died.
Same location?
Yeah, pretty much,
Yeah, but also in the news, of course, we're still dealing with the Trayvon Martin case. And, of course, that's going to be very, very interesting to see how this is all going to play out. But, on Friday, actually on Thursday, it was revealed that George Zimmerman, the shooter, apparently had collected about $200,000 in donations for his legal defense fund. You know, I thought he was broke, didn't have any money to even get out of jail, but apparently he's got bread.
But, you know, the source of that money is like all these right-wing groups, these gun groups, different things. I'm sure we need to examine this, and the judge, I think, is looking at the source. The judge may not be considering the source of the funds. It's just the fact that they didn't disclose it. Right, Pickett?
Well, no, apparently all this happened post his being released on bail.
He raised the money before and hid it.
Yeah, before that.
Well, okay. The attorney apparently is saying that he was not aware of it. He believes it. I'm telling you what he's saying. He's saying that a lot of this was coming in post bail. That's what he said.
Listen, Omara,
the family raised the $15,000.
$150,000.
No, the 15,000, which is 10% of 150,000. Right. The family raised that money, but the other monies came after he was released on bail. That's what they're saying.
No. Check the phone records. I bet you they were calling in every hour to see how much money was there.
But the interesting thing is that a lot of legal experts said that if Zimmerman uses this correctly, he could raise anywhere from $2 to $3 million.
Yeah, I'm sure the Koch brothers are probably involved
for his
in that
defense.
Too. Yeah, well, all sorts of people involved in that. Of course, and as we continue the countdown toward the 2012 elections, we still have a Mitt Romney, the presumptive Republican nominee, and, of course, Newt Gingrich is going to basically end his campaign. They took the Secret Service away from him. That's good. That should have been snatched. That's taxpayer money. They took that away from him, and so now I think it's Wednesday he's going to come out and officially endorse Mitt Romney.
You talk about fraud, waste, and abuse, man.
That's right.
What is the GSA doing on this thing? This man knew he had no chance, to become be named the presumptive nominee, and he went along with for the ride. All this taxpayers' money, and he's talking about how much money that the Democrats are pushing into government and different, and he's wasting our money by running for something he can't win.
Yeah,
he'll wind up on Fox News as a commentator, probably.
Well, don't worry, he'll be there. They'll give him a job, and Santorum will get a job too.
Sanatorium.
And they are also talking about a running mate for Romney, and they're mentioning the name Marco Rubio from Florida. And a few others. They feel they need a Hispanic vote. They didn't mention anything about black votes now.
You know something though, wait. You know,
they did mention
what I don't like.
Condoleezza Rice.
What I don't like about this whole thing concerning your boy, the president of the United States. Sometimes I need to call him Obama, and I will say that.
Your boy? Do you really want to say that? Your boy?
Well, I mean, we're black, baby, aren't we? All right. So we know what we're talking about. But this issue is here. This president has deported more immigrants than any other president in the last what?
What's wrong with that?
Yeah, because and you said you want to help immigrants in this country. You are the president.
We want to help them.
I know I would touch that spot in you.
But they gotta come into this country legally.
Here you go.
What's wrong with that, Pete?
Here you go. We're talking about.
If you're here illegally, you get deported. Period.
No. You understand what the DREAM Act is, right? Where the people who are here, people who have kids here, you want to root up these families and send them back, right?
Guess what, Pete?
No. You want to root them up and send them back home?
My family's been
Do you
here
want to root them up and send them back?
years, and I'm
asking you a question. I'm an immigrant. I came to this country. You're talking to me now because I
came here legally.
How do you know that?
I know you came here.
No. I didn't come here illegally.
Oh, you didn't?
I came here, brother, on the boat. You hear me? I came on the boat.
Okay, let's think about revoking his citizenship.
Oh, now we got to check and see if he got a green card.
That's right.
Hey, there's a knock on the door.
That's right. No, Pete, nobody has an issue with people who come here legally. They stand in line. They come here. But the problem has to be with people who are illegally here. And taking advantage.
I tell you what, my mother came here the day that Martin Luther King was shot dead. She came illegally, and had she not come, hold a second. Had she not come to this country illegally to provide a way and to prove a way for me, a lot of West Indians who came this way, I would not be here talking to you, brother. She came here and she worked. And these people who come here, and not all of them are criminals. They work hard. They send money back home. They contribute to this economy. What are you doing right now in Georgia? Who deported most of their people, they say, we're not giving work to all these immigrants. You know what's happening to the economy in Georgia? It's bad. They can't get anybody to work. The same thing is going to happen in Arizona. So Pickett, when you're looking for a Mexican to help you behind your white picket fence and you can't get them, you know why.
Right. All right, Pete.
All right. Let's calm down, gentlemen. Remember, we're gentlemen. It's 10:15. And we're going to be spending most of this broadcast talking about the memories of 98.7 KISS
Thank
FM.
God.
And talking about, yes, right. and keep Peter Noel quiet as we look back as to what was happening. You gotta understand that Week in Review was on the air before Open Line, and we were dealing with the Central Park drug case. As a matter of fact, Brother Mtume, Brother Mtume and I were attending one of these music gatherings in Atlantic City when that case first popped, and the news media at that time was just blasting it, talking about wilding and all this, that, and the other. And, if you read the media back in those days, we said, well, maybe they deserve to get caught, blah, blah, blah. But as we examined the story, we realized, wait a minute, something is wrong. And it wasn't until one of our reporters, Joe Bragg, our street reporter, got a copy of the FBI lab report. And that lab report that said there was no DNA match from any of these boys on the jogger victim. That's when we said, wait a minute. I thought all this raping and pillaging, and there's nothing there.
Right.
What are we talking about?
You guys broke that story. I remember that I was working for the City Sun, and we were doing a lot of work. You guys were stealing my stuff and reporting it on there. Wait a minute. I'm talking facts here. I should have said plagiarize, but now I want to say steal. And you guys were reporting. No, you guys were doing a good job. Because what Slade and I were doing at the City Sun in terms of that case got me over to the Village Voice. But you guys were doing a whole lot of this case once Joe Bragg actually broke that story and you took off. But you guys took some stuff from me. I want you to recognize that.
I don't recall that, but that's another story. Anyway, so that was the story that actually eventually led in 1989 to Open Line. And the broadcast there, we did a live radio show, Open Line, first talk show on 98.7 KISS FM. And it turned out to be very, very successful. It started on September 21st. 1989, and was hosted by myself and Milton McLean Dennis, and we've had a long run since then. It's been a lot of fun, and enjoying all these shows.
Wait a minute, why are you talking about Open Line on the Week in Review?
No, I'm talking about because I'm talking Week in Review led to
give you
history.
history.
A little history. Pay attention.
I'm ribbing you, brother. I'm ribbing you.
No, I'll tell you. But anyway, so that's the way it is, and of course, we've had a long ride since then, and we want to thank the listeners for their loyal support throughout all these years. I want
to thank James Mtume, my big brother, fellow Capricorn and everything, and somebody who has followed me, who read me, because these are the chumps here were not reading the Village Voice at the time. And what they did, I'm going to give you a props, man. Wait, hold on a second. When they were looking, they used to invite me over, because they couldn't stand taking my material. So let's bring him over to make it a more legit.
Peter, hold the story for there was a person who left us, right, and went to BLS.
That's Ann Tripp. Ann Tripp left, and she went to BLS, and I was looking for somebody to take Ann's place, and I said,
can I tell my own story?
No, you distorted. And I saw we were standing at the cooler, and I said, Peter Noel, you look like a...
Well, you know what happened?
You're a good suspect to bring on the broadcast.
Right, you know what?
The show is much better with Annie.
You know why?
People on the show, Michael Cotman.
Yeah, Michael Cotman.
A lot of folks like that, yeah.
But no, because, you guys were doing, at the time, were bringing me on when I was doing some stuff about Farrakhan and different things.
Right. Open Line. You came on Open Line.
I was a frequent visitor.
Right. And
then, Toombs and you guys got together, and, it was... I'm glad you brought me here.
Oh, no, we love you,
I threatened to quit when they said they were bringing you there.
No. But cut. He came on the Open Line show. Our first introduction to Peter being on the radio. And it was... who else was there?
There were...
Minister
Ben Chavis.
Came on.
Benjamin Muhammad at the time.
And the discussion got
in March that day.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the discussion got heated. And all of a sudden the bodyguards start coming in. Peter stood up. And what did you say?
No. I had written a story in the Village Voice about somebody attempting to poison Minister Farrakhan. And Ben Chavis, who I know and I still love dearly, he wanted to just front and show he was the biggest black Muslim around and he could defend the minister. He wasn't defending the minister. He was writing here. Toombs was standing next to me. I'm sitting right where you're sitting right now. And he says, Peter Noel is pointing his finger in my face. And I'm saying, wait a minute, man. You know, what you doing? I said, man, you point that finger in my face one more time, I'll send you to paradise sooner than you expect. You know, and it was the fruit of Islam, you know, actually came around me and want to like take me out. Toombs just ran and put his hand on my shoulder and said, it's like, you ain't touching me. But that was one of the highlights of the thing. And the next thing you know, I was on the show. I had protection.
Slade and I came to your rescue too, didn't we?
I said I had protection. Yeah, of course.
Okay, yeah.
And then they came in to do the weekend review.
I'm saying to myself, why did we do that?
And I asked them, what'd y'all do with the money?
Right.
That's right. You did.
All right, 1-800-288-5477. That's the number to reach the Week in Review. We're live this evening taking your phone calls. And I don't know when the calls are up on the board there. We got a whole bank of phone calls ready to go, Pickett, so make sure you take a look at that.
Yeah, let me do that right now.
Know what's going on.
Yeah, Crystal's here, so she put it up.
Yeah, right. You didn't check it.
I didn't check.
And that's why we're stalling for time.
Okay.
All right, it's 10:21. Actually, we're coming up on a break. We ought to take it.
All right, let's take the break.
And come right back, all right? Yeah, right. You're listening to the Week in Review right here at 98.7 KISS FM. It's our last Week in Review show here on this radio station. This is the last show that's actually going to close out a long 30-odd years here at 98.7 KISS FM. We'll be back right after these messages. Don't go away.
This weekend, we remember 98.7 KISS FM.
It's time to give away some Kiss Cats. Good morning, Bob Slade. Good morning to you. All right.
A voice in our community for 30 years, and we're saying goodbye.
Isaac Hayes and friends. Isaac Hayes and friends.
We'll remember 30 years of great music. Hear stories from your favorite KISS DJs.
You just been cranked.
And you.
My fondest memory of KISS is that's the year that my husband and I started dating.
Remember, the legacy of 98.7 KISS FM will live on starting Monday with our family at 107.5 WBLS.
Come on. All right, here we go. It's 10:22. And welcome back to the Week in Review right here at 98.7 KISS FM. Get ready to take your phone calls at 1-800-288-5477. This is the last Week in Review program right here on 98.7 KISS FM. You can text us at 23123 or email us at openline@987kissfm.com. All right, now I'm joined, as always, by Judge Bob Pickett, the Cutman Charles W. Etheridge III, the undercover brother, the flame-throwing loudmouth. And he's really loud today. Handkerchief wearing Peter. No way.
Of the Strong in Review, brother. Say it again.
All right, what we're going to do is go until Pickett gets the calls up, and he didn't have time to do that. Let's go.
Coming up in 2 minutes.
No, wait, let's go. Let's let's press any button there and see who's on the live line.
Yeah, they all lit up.
Yeah, they're lit up like a Christmas tree. Go ahead. Good evening. You're on the Week in Review. Hello, what's your name?
Good morning, John from Princeton, New Jersey.
All right, how you doing?
Hey, John, how are you?
Okay, always a faithful caller and always enjoyed your show. It sounds like you guys will be spun over to 107.5. I hope that is good that we keep this show going. Check your emails. I did send you an email on purehistory.org. We need to sit down at some point down the line, sit down and talk because I love the format and I think you can. Your voices can be heard on my historical site that just launched about 3 weeks ago. I think of all your shows that I have enjoyed, I think I enjoyed having Farrakhan on, Minister Farrakhan. But I think you didn't highlight, I think the Trayvon Martin case is going to be important, hopefully with 107.5 as that case builds up. We will keep that dialogue talking. But I think, I don't know if you can remember and flashback on the Rodney King, I believe you guys were up during that time. And that was an important case with the beating. And Rodney King last week was making the rounds. I think he had a book.
And he was on the open line, as a matter of fact. He was on open line before he did all those other shows. Thanks to Brother Fatine on that. And he made some comments about the scream that Trayvon Martin was making on that tape.
Yeah.
And, of course, he repeated that story and gave chills up and down the spine to a lot of people who heard him recount that many times on whether it was on television, CNN, or MSNBC. That was a heavy deal. We did cover that story tremendously. We were all over that as well, and we were on the air at that particular time. You're right. We were definitely there.
And he made that statement on open line first.
Let let me just end with this before you get some more callers in. That scream does bother me too with the Trayvon Martin case, and nobody has not identified, and I'm still waiting. Was there one shot with Trayvon Martin, or was there two? And the reason why I say I believe it was two shots, because I believe, and hopefully all of this is going to come out. If he was shot and he was screaming, he might have been down at that point. So he looked around and saw it was nobody watching, and with the screaming, he just finished him off with a double shot. And that bothers me, as well as with the police holding the body for 3 days. The cell phone was on him. The cell phone had to be ringing. Yeah. All of this is going to come out, so I'm hoping heads will roll down the line.
Well, you'll have to hear about it on another station. Okay.
Thank you very much for the call, brother. Appreciate that. That's John from Princeton. Let's go to line 5 and talk to Mina out of Newark, New Jersey. You're on the open line.
Thank you, gentlemen, for sparkling years of wit, humor, intellect, on-point news. R.C. Davis gave a eulogy for Brother Malcolm X, and he said, our shining prince. You have been our shining princes on the radio station, and I want to thank you for that. I have some ideas of raising money to get this moving on your own station. We had to lose this in order to appreciate where we're lacking. So we're going to move on that. Hopefully, we'll be back in touch. Maybe I can reach out to Brother Tume, because he's closer to me here in Newark. So, you can move a house, but you can't move a spirit. Okay. So I thank you, gentlemen. I think this is one of your most sparkling programs. It's sad. You may be in the dark, but you are a light still.
All right, thank
you very much.
It's a pleasure. Thank you. Let's go to line 8 and talk to Cassandra. Is that Cassandra? He's on 8. Oh, I tell you? Okay, it's line 7. Let's go to JT. He's out of Far Rockaway. JT.
Yeah, good evening, gentlemen. How you doing?
All right, just fine, brother.
I'm totally saddened by this attack that they've done on the black and brown community. And it's my hope for once in their life that the brown and black will do as they've been asked in the past to stop spending their money. And if there's some kind of way, if everybody can just terminate their cable and let them know just how we feel so saddened by the KISS station being closed out. And that's all I have to say. And if there's any way that we can start a fundraiser or something like that so that blacks can have their stations.
Well, Pickett, once again, we have the numbers. You can always send us some emails. If you have any ideas, you can always keep in touch with us. And what are those numbers there, my brother?
Yeah, you can, just for now, you can communicate with us on the Weekend Review at openlinelive.com. That'll be the website that'll be effective as of 10 days from now. And you can email us at openlinefm@aol.com related to the Weekend Review. All right?
Yeah, but my question was, if people can get a donation, get the money up, is it possible that you can get your station?
Well, that's going to be very...
please don't send any money.
Dollars.
You don't want to be accused of...
Email us first and give us your number, and we'll contact you, and we'll have a sit-down with you as well.
Okay, thank you very much. Let's go to line 6, talk to Cassandra out of Newark. Cassandra?
Hello.
Yes.
Yes, this is Cassandra from Newark.
Yes.
Myself, Donna, and Street, and some others from Newark were over there today to support Bob Pickett and Tume, Bob Slade, and Fatine, and, of course, the Weekend Review. Just want to let everybody know that tomorrow as well, from 4 to 7, we're going to be in front of WBLS, 3 Park Avenue and 34th Street. So if you really, really want to support Open Line, Weekend Review, then we need you to be there. We need you to continue calling. We need you to continue sending the emails and whatever you're doing. But we need you to be there. I also just want to, and hopefully Reverend Al is listening, because Mr. Livingston came on, and Mr. Livingston said that his goal was to bring Reverend Al over from 9 to 10 and to bring the Open Line over from 10 to 12. And how I read that is there's a possibility that Reverend Al would have to lead this. So I'm hoping if that's the case, that when Reverend Al sits down with Mr. Livingston, that he talk about bringing Open Line over, because Reverend Al do sit with Madison Avenue. Reverend Al is on NBC. So, again, we're watching this. Reverend Al, if you're listening, when you sit down, please, a lot of us knew what you were doing, when you were doing it, because of Open Line. A lot of things you did was on Open Line. So please, Reverend Al, if that's the case, don't forget, when you sit down with Mr. Livingston, that you talk about open line and keeping open line on and keeping the same format, letting them do what they do and how they do it.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. And, of course, I will see you guys, and I will talk to you guys.
All right.
And we love you.
And we love you, Cassandra and Donna, out there in Newark, New Jersey.
Let's go to line 5, talk to Monica. She's out of Harlem. Monica, you're on the Week of Review. Hello.
Hello, brothers. This morning, I tried for an hour and a half to get through to you guys, and I wasn't able to get through, so I'm glad I'm able to get through now. I'm a broadcasting student at St. Francis College. I'm very good friends with Brother Monk. Mr. Slade, I interned for you 2 summers ago at KISS FM, and I learned a lot just from listening to you about how to be an excellent broadcaster and bring accurate, incredible news to our community. And I intend on doing what you do, and I have a whole lot to look up to, and I have a whole lot to live up to. I wish other young college students, African-American college students, knew about Open Line and Week in Review and like it is with Mr. Gail Noble. I'm so sorry for the losses this year. This is a great loss. I feel very emotional about it. And I feel like this is just a way for them to try to silence our voices, but I can assure you, brothers, it won't silence mine. So thank you so much for everything. I love and respect you, brothers. I hope to hear from you. This is a great loss for me. I'm very emotional about it. All respect due to you, brothers. Thank you so much for everything.
You're more than welcome. Thank you very kindly. Let's go to line 11. We have a special guest on that line. He's been on our broadcast many, many times. He is the New York City Comptroller, the one and only Mr. John Liu. John Liu can do. Mr. Controller.
I'm really going to miss that. What a shocker this week, gentlemen.
Yeah.
This is, and I have to reiterate what many of the callers have been saying. This is sad. This is it's a moment that we'll never forget. But I have a feeling it ain't over. It's not over in terms of the voices that the 4 of you have been enunciating and articulating for so long. The issues that, in many cases, other media don't want to talk about. Mr. Piggott and I having had so many conversations about the continued injustice with the Central Park Five. Bob Slade and the Cut Man always throwing things in there. Mm-hmm. Not to mention the flamethrower. Peter Noel. You guys have been a hallmark of this city. And there shall be another time, another place.
No doubt about it. That's one of the lines we said, Mr. Madison. That's how we closed the show, Open Line this morning. Another time, another place. We have been big supporters and still are big supporters of you, Mr. Liu. No doubt about it. You're a stand-up brother. We really do appreciate it.
Yes.
And, keep on doing what you're doing. We're going to be following you no matter where we go.
Definitely.
Right. We're going to be following you, John Liu.
Well, I got a lot more to do.
Yes, sir.
And a lot more places to go.
Oh,
I'm going into this full speed ahead.
And don't let them beat you down, John. Just keep your head high, okay?
Never. I mean, never will they distract me. And I will always keep my head up high and remember the many conversations we have had on air as well as off air.
All right. And, John, my last question to you is, please keep working to get justice for the Central Park Jogger 5, okay?
That you know we're not going to let up on that and many other issues.
All right, John.
Okay, thank you, John.
Thank you.
John, as always, John Liu can do. All right. City Comptroller. All right, let's go to, line 6. Talk to Danny out of Far Rockaway. Danny, you're on the Week in Review. Hello.
Yes, good night. My name is Danny Bell from Far Rockaway. Yeah. And I would like to know if I could have one question answered. I mean, since KISS been at a radio station for 30 years, I don't see why it had to merge with WBLS. What's the reason for that, please? If maybe somebody could answer me that question. What's the reason for the merger?
Well, it's all about economics, my brother. That's basically what it is. You have, according to the rating systems and how audiences are measured, knew this was going to come when they came up with these devices that measure the audience by the sounds, what they're listening. They could be the mall. And if one broadcast radio station say it's playing in the mall, you'll pick up those sounds, and that radio station gets the credit. When people aren't really listening to it, it's just on, and they are ones that carry these meters. And this has been going. This is going to be the death of radio for a long time. A lot of people predicted that in 2007, 2008 when this process began. But it's about business, and they also predicted there could not be two black radio stations, adult black radio stations in this same market because of the changing demographics, the changing of black folks moving out of New York City, more immigrants moving in. Many of the natural-born African Americans are moving away, and who have moved away from the city, moved down south, and a lot of the folks that are moving in now are Caribbean.
Let me, if I may, add something.
Also of Hispanic origin.
Let me add something to that. Even with all those things that Bob just mentioned, there's a fundamental problem. There were low-rated white stations like WFAN that may have been rated 20, but ranked number 4 in terms of money, okay? The story here is that black radio has been sharecropping. And Massa decided that they didn't want to give us no more food to eat, but we had to still go out in the field. Economics is one thing, but redlining and restricting money from Madison Avenue advertising agencies to stations that have black and Latino consumers is a purposeful thing. And even though PPM is a methodological verification of that they use to do this, they have redlined us long before Arbitron changed its rating mechanism.
All right. Well, anyway, so that's the story. It's all about the economics and that sort of thing. But thank you very much for that call. We're going to come up on a break pretty soon. Let's take a few more. On the other side, we'll take more of your phone calls. Let's go to line 2, talk to Abraham out of Bayonne, New Jersey. Abraham, you're on the Weekend Review. Hi.
Yes, good evening, gentlemen. How are you?
Fine, brother.
All I can say is, wow. I wish and pray to God that you guys have the money and resources that these donkey artists have, because I believe you guys would do a far more better job than what they're doing. It's amazing how some of these artists have started out on WLS, on 98.7 Kids, as far as hip-hop artists, some comedians. Where are the Oprahs? Where are the Weezy, the Jay-Z's? Where's Reverend Run? All these people, how could they let this demise happen when some of their very careers started on this radio station? Instead of these donkeys rapping about things that these corporations that have money, far as rapping about Rolls Royces and women being naked, why can't they teach these young people that's going to be our future and our generation, why can't they teach them about Imus Corporation, Jeff Suleiman, Jeff Smolian? He's the guy in charge of selling 98.7 Kids. Why can't they teach these young people about the rating system, how they changed it from it was the old diary system to the PPN system that brought down the rating of the black radio? And another thing, how about teach them that Imus owns 98.7 Kids and also own 97.1? Why didn't they get rid of 97, Hot 97? Because Hot 97 is nothing but buffoonery and constantly bringing us down and don't talk about the issues that concerns our community and that empowers us. So they want after the radio station that empowers us and give us power. And now they talk about this is WBLS and 98.7 Kids is coming together as a merger. That's a big lie, because WBLS is almost out the door, because, as I recall, they just got purchased by YMF, a company that we and them
thank you for the call, man.
Nothing about.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
You said a lot there, my brother. Thank you very kindly for that. Let's go to line 3
he was very,
and talk to. He's very passionate.
Very
line
insightful
3,
too.
But he's informed.
Line 3 is Tom out of the Bronx. Tom, thanks for holding on.
Yes. Hi, gentlemen. How are you?
Fine, brother.
I'd like to say that your station independently, in my opinion, with your advertising department, should have gone around to the corporations, the advertisers, and independently say, look, we have close to 2 million or more people listening to our station per week, it still pays you to advertise on our station.
They did that. For
Well, in other words,
years, they've done it.
You should have talked about it, though.
It's not the format. It's not the place to talk about it.
Well,
but they have been selling black radio for 30 years, and Madison Avenue has created a separate and unequal media paradigm in this city. They talk until they're blue in the face.
But what I'm saying is you should have talked about it on the air. That would have been a big topic for you.
You know, that's a management call.
And, that's a poor logic there.
Well, you know, the radio station.
No, that's cutting off your nose to spoil your face, brother.
Anyway, it should be talked about, and maybe you should put it out.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
anyway.
There have been efforts in doing. There have been hearings at the city council that some of us have advocated for. There are things that the controllers have done to try to get transparency. There's all kinds of things that have been done. But thank you for your call.
All right, what we're going to do is take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk to our man on sports, the one and only Mr. Bobby Childs, who is here. He was at that horrible Knicks game. Oh, my goodness. They got killed.
What, 30 points?
33 points. By the Miami Heat. It was a massacre, as I say, massacre. It's 10:41. You're listening to the Week in Review right here on KISS FM. Back after these messages.
98.7 KISS FM says farewell, New York. Over 30 years of great music and community service will live on starting Monday on 107.5 WBLS.
Very quickly, I'm losing the voice here. We got our man on sports, Bobby Childs.
Oh, Bobby Childs.
Yeah.
I wanted to mention something quickly about the Twitter account that Nida was supposed to set up and didn't set up, but we got Jay Blessed at jblessed.com tweeting.
The bus, man?
No, I ain't throwing you under the bus yet. No, I ain't throwing you under the bus. I just want to mention this quickly. Jay Blessed has been tweeting everything that we've been talking about. jblessed.com, guys. Follow her on Twitter. All right, because this one did not set up the account.
Yeah, but we're up and running on our Twitter account.
We are?
Yeah, we are.
And
the Twitter account is Weekend Review NYC. Now we go to Bobby.
All right, Bobby Childs has done sports for us for how many years, Bobby? It seems like forever.
Bob, we go back before I was on the air. I thank you for giving me that shot. We met doing some community service work with the KISS cards. The KISS softball
lovers,
team,
yeah.
KISS Lovers. And I remember harassing you back then once I was playing to, brother, hook me up with a press pass. And you were like, nah. And then one day you said, okay, brother, I'm going to put you to work. I said, all right, what I got to do? He said, I need you to feed me tape for sports shorts in the morning.
Yes.
And I said, feed you tape? What does that mean? He said, I'll give you a recorder, I'll give you a mic, give you a mic head, and mic flag. And you go in the locker room. I said, whoa. You mean I don't just get to go to the games to cover? I get to actually go in the locker room?
Wow.
And you said, of course. What do you think this is? And been doing it since 94 with you when John Starks went crazy and kept missing all those shots against the Rockets.
Yeah, right.
And up until yesterday when I was in Miami covering the Knicks debacle against the Heat, and
it's over.
It does look that way. It doesn't look good for New York losing by 33 yesterday. Just a couple of things I just wanted to say. One is to modify a quote from JFK, and this is for all the brothers in here, which is the quote was, "I think that this is an extraordinary collection of talent, of human knowledge that has ever been gathered at the White House." I'll substitute White House for the KISS Studios, with the possible exception of when Thomas Jefferson dined alone. And I substitute Thomas Jefferson for you, Bob Slade, because you have been in the studio for many nights, many mornings by yourself, pulling stuff together. So that's one of my homages there.
All right.
That is.
Thank you.
The other thing I just like to end with is, yes, the Knicks will lose this first-round series, but, we talk about greatness, right? And I always look to sports and look at some parallels to social life. So when I think of greatness is not defined by the location. When you look at Kareem, he's changed his name. He went from Milwaukee to L.A. You look at Wilt Chamberlain, he went from Philadelphia to L.A. You look at Michael Jordan, he went from Chicago to D.C., and we just have the recent one with Peyton Manning going from Indianapolis to Denver. So look, greatness is not your location. Greatness is when you can give and provide for others sacrificing for yourself, and being able to sustain that over a period of time. And everything that KISS has done, and Bob, you've been a big part of it all those years, have sustained and given back to a lot of other people.
Ladies and gentlemen, a graduate of the Bob Slade School of Broadcasting.
That's right. That's
along with your buddy and our buddy Wayne Sims,
Jamie Harris, Andrew Rosario.
Hondo.
We're all the sports crew. We're there with you. And, you know,
That's
Bob,
right.
I've said this a lot of times. I hook my wagon to your cart, so wherever you go, brother, I got your back.
We got you, Bobby. No doubt about it.
Excellent job, Bobby.
Outstanding.
Thank you, Bobby.
Really, thank you very much. Once again, let me tell you that you're listening to 98.7 KISS, WRKS FM New York. It's almost 11 o'clock. We have one more hour of our broadcast. We got a lot of phone calls lined up. We're going to talk to you folks as well. Memories of KISS FM, memories of the Week in Review. See, who else is in this room? Mike Shannon.
Oh,
brother Mike Shannon.
Mike, come here, brother. Come by me, man.
Come on, Mike. Mike Shannon just walked in here.
Is this working? Yeah.
Yeah.
This is working. Yes, Bob.
Mike came and took his picture off the wall.
No, Robin took the picture off the wall telling me to sign it. I want it back on the wall.
You better put it back,
I want it back on the wall.
Yeah.
Okay, it needs to stay on the wall.
That's right.
Okay? It needs to stay on the wall.
That's right.
Anyway, brother Mike Shannon, go ahead, man, brother.
Bob, we talked about this day for years. We joked about this day for years. Remember we used to joke about it?
Oh, yeah.
You know, and, well, I guess maybe we shouldn't have joked, but it's happening, and it's just been a pleasure. Bob, I had to come back just to see you because I was here earlier, and they said you weren't here yet, so I had to come back because I worked with this man many a mornings for over a year.
Isaac Hayes and Friends.
Isaac Hayes and Friends, me, Bob, Isaac, God rest his soul, and Ann Tripp.
Yeah.
And we had a ball up in here. I didn't want to do the show at first because, I had my own show in the afternoon with my name on it. You know what I mean? I'm like, why do I have to go just to be a friend? I got my own show. But I'm so glad Toya Beasley was like, no, Mike, go do it, please, because I know you can. And, I'd be disappointed if you didn't. I did it, and I did it well, and we had a good time for a short time, and Bob, it was a pleasure. We laughed, we carried on, we had a ball. There's so many great memories in this place. I've been here for 18 years, and it's tough.
Yeah, well, you're fine broadcast personality, man. I'm sure you'll probably end up on the other side as well.
I hope so. From your lips to there is. I hope so.
Bob, you remember when you used to talk about Mike, who he reminded us of in the NBA?
Yeah, go ahead, tell him.
Paul Pierce.
That's it.
Oh, yeah. And you know what? And I used to get kind of PO'd about it, right? Because I don't look like him until my mother was like, well, you do kind of favor him. You look better than him, but you do. I was like, oh, if my mother says it. you know?
Well, Paul Pierce, Mike Shannon. It's a pleasure, brother, working with you all these years.
Oh,
really
Bob, it has been a pleasure. I hope to continue working with you.
Yeah,
I hope we can still.
Yeah,
no
doubt about it.
Hey, one family, one voice. Come on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
There you go. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for the one and only Mr. Mike Shannon.
Hey, Mike.
Shannon. We also have another KISS personality right here, sister. Followed us after the Week in Review. It's last a few weeks, as a matter of fact. And one and only sister Venus.
Venus.
Come on, Venus, say something.
Come on, Venus.
Then we go back to the phones, Venus.
So that means don't talk long?
Yeah.
I am so filled. I'm the baby of the bunch. I started as an intern in 2004. So I am just so thankful and so elated. I got to work with many of you in the room at different times when I was board hopping. And I just said hello. I was just like, I'm here with Bob Slade. I'm here with Bob Pickett. I'm here with Peter Noel. I don't know if I could hang with those guys. But anyway, I'm here with them, and it's just so wonderful. And I just want to take the opportunity to thank you. I did news with you, trying out a couple of weeks ago, maybe a couple of months ago. And we had such a good time. And he was like, well, I don't want to give you too much, Sister Venus. I was like, give it to me. That's how you learn. I mean, I was put on trial with Chuck Chillout. The first time I was here, I was put on trial. The first time I went live, it was with Chuck Chillout. All the master mixes, trial by fire. Everybody had a different personality, and they were like, you got to do so and so. I said, look, I'm in charge on the mic right now. I'm not getting in trouble. This is what I'm doing. But we had such a good time, and I have such great memories from everybody here. I thank I sat with every single DJ in here, and when CD 101 was here, I sat with them. I was on the bench waiting, and I filled in there also when it was the jazz station, not the rock station, and I'm just so thankful to have been a part of when the agency put me here as an intern. They gave me a list of radio stations to pick from, and I put down 11 stations, and one of the stations was KISS FM. And when they told me I was going to be at KISS FM, I said, are you sure? They said, well, you don't want it? I said, oh, yeah. But I was just shocked that that's what they gave me to do. And I've been here for 8 years, and I'm just so thankful that I'm a part of this great, rich, rich, rich history. And it will forever go down in history that I was here. And I'm just thankful for everybody.
Very good. Sister Venus, thank you very kindly. Appreciate that.
You know, it's like we've been talking about DJs. There's one guy that we can't leave out, and that's DJ Daryl James, man. Oh, yeah. Okay, we gotta he's not here. He's not around.
Hey, where is he?
But we want to shout him out because D, man, he can throw down with the best of them, and he's been a part of KISS FM for, the last 15, 20 years almost.
Longer than about 20 years, give or take.
Yeah, DJ Daryl James.
All right, very good. I don't know why you just threw that out there like that, but that's cool. Just shout him out. That's all right. All right, we got a lot of folks on the line. I want to get these calls in here real quick. It's 11:04. We're counting down the last minutes of 98.7 KISS FM. Let's go to line 1. Talk to Scott out of Plainfield, New Jersey. Scott, you're on the Weekend Review. Hello.
Hey, Bob. How you doing? This is Scott from Plainfield.
Yes, sir. Go ahead, brother. Hello.
All right, Scott.
Yeah.
You're on,
I just
Scott.
want to know. I am going to miss. I've worked with KISS since '81, and with Jeff Troy, Mary Thomas, Yvonne Mobley. You know, you guys, Chuck Lennon, Jerry Young. I'm going to miss KISS because I grew up with this. I love KISS FM. KISS was the station. You know, I just hate to see it go off the air right now.
Well, yeah, everything comes to a finish at some point, but it's not over. And hopefully we'll be back. Thank you very much for that call, Scott. Let's go to line 7, talk to Wanda out of New Jersey. Wanda, you're on the Weekend Review. Hello, how are you?
I'm fine. I am so hurt that KISS is leaving the air. I love you guys. 98.7 has been in my family for a long time, and we're going to miss you. We're going to miss the 98.7, but we're praying that you go on to WBLS and we come together as a people and make it better. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We can move mountains if we're all together, but separate we won't be able to do it. But I do have a comment in regards to the process that's happening, because it's not only happening in New York City, it's also happening in other large black areas like in Philadelphia.
Yeah, Philadelphia, Chicago. It's all over the place.
So I'm actually hurt for us as a people that we can entertain across the United States. However, we're not able to come together and have our own TV and radio stations to educate our youth and educate ourselves on the processes that's happening across the country.
No doubt about it.
So I'm kind of saddened in many ways, and I'm hoping that those who are listening and do have the funds will put their funds together and not purchase things that are tangible, but things that can educate us as a people.
Oh, you're more than welcome. Thank you, sir, very much for that call. Really appreciate it. Let's go to line 5, talk to Rudolph Muhammad out of Brooklyn. Rudolph.
Yes, sir. Gentlemen. First of all, I want to thank you personally for all the times that you've had me on the show with Brother Aton doing the disaster.
That's right. I was going to say, I'm wearing your hat right now, brother. Want you to know that. Bed-Stuy Ambulance Corps.
Yes, sir. And, what we have to look at is there are many ways to look at this, but we have to look at it spiritually as well as realistically. And from a spiritual standpoint, we have to understand that all things are ordered for a certain reason and a certain time. And although we may not understand where things are going and what it is, we have to play our part. Nothing lasts forever.
Yeah.
You gentlemen, as with Gil Noble and Like It Is, brought enlightenment, education, and a lot of information to a host of people, to a generation of people. And you were able to infuse and enlighten us with things that otherwise we would have never heard or understood.
You know something, I want to mention, Brother Rudolph, that when I was at the Amsterdam News, one of the first stories they gave me to do was a piece on this corps, on the ambulance corps. And this brother, man, provided me with the information. They thought I couldn't finish the story on time. He provided me with the information. We got it out, and this thing took off, man. They were doing some good work, and nobody was recognizing them. You were out there before Hutzel, right? The Jewish Ambulance Service.
No, they were out before us. We actually patterned ourselves after them because my father admired the way that they took charge of their community, regardless of what people said.
Right. That's correct.
So that's but again, yes, thank you, because I remember that very well and the time we spent together getting that information out.
Yeah.
So again, just to make this very quick, again, just thanking you for this period of time, but this is in no way a period to any of our lives. This is a comma, and now we have to figure out where we're going and what the next level is going to be, because we have to hit it with the same tenacity, because there's another generation coming up behind us that still needs to be fed. So again, thank you, brothers, and may God bless you, and let's just keep the struggle going.
All right, Brother Rudolph, Muhammad, thank you very much, Bedside Ambulance Corps. And we'll be working again, I guarantee you that much. Let's go to line 6, talk to Elisa out of West Orange, New Jersey. Elisa?
Good evening, gentlemen.
Yes.
I just wanted to say thank you for 31 years, or almost 31 years of good listening. And I just wanted to know, why was KISS chosen over Hot 97? Aren't you owned by the same company?
Oh, we were, yeah, but that's a business decision made by the company that owns both radio stations, and they felt that was the way to go, and they took it, and that's the name of that tune,
Well, I wish everyone well, and thank you again for 30 years of good listening.
Okay, thank you, County, for the call.
Good night.
Let's go to line 2, talk to Victor out of the Bronx. Victor, you're on the Weekend Review. How you doing?
I'm doing fine. I'm talking to you gentlemen with a very heavy heart right now. I've been listening to you people ever since you started. And the station has brought me joy, tears, information. And you guys always did a beautiful job giving out information. You showed me that black men could sit down and have intelligent conversations without going at each other's throat and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And I won prizes to go to things that I probably would have never paid my own money to go see.
Got prizes?
And
how many times you get prizes?
The thing is, now I got to get serious.
Yeah.
We know every time in our society strong voices come up, they find some kind of way to take them away from us. If you know about our assassinations and everything, I feel this is like an assassination also, because you are educating the black community. They didn't like that. So why would they keep putting out all that stuff, I'm going to run in your house and I'm going to kill you and all this? Why didn't they knock 97 instead of 98? But I'm getting a little excited now.
All right, brother.
But I see this as a conspiracy. I'm in a conspiracy theorist.
All right.
And this society found some kind of way to destroy another voice. And I'm going to say thank you very much for all the beautiful years that you've given us.
All right, thank you. Thank you for listening. We really do appreciate that. Line 3 is D. Webb out of Nyack. You're on the Weekend Review, D. Webb.
Peace, my brothers.
Yes, sir.
All right. Ironically, I'm taking a sociology class, and this week's lesson was about the capitalism and the media and the government. So I understand exactly what's going on here. I wrote something earlier today as my heart was filled. For over 30 years, you visited my family and I at every address where we lived and joined us on road trips. I often received news from you from a perspective that no one else could or would deliver. Over the years, we partied and danced together. Just a few names: Shaila, Bob Slade, my man Fred Bugsy Buggs, Mike Shannon, Lenny Green, and all the past hosts, New York tri-state area, will miss you. Farewell, my old friends from 98.7 KISS. And lastly, I'd like to say that to whom much is given, much is required. In 98.7 KISS, you fulfilled your obligation to the black community. God bless you all.
Nicely done.
Thank you. Thank you very kindly. Appreciate that. Let's take one more call, and we got a special guest on the line to hold it. This woman's been holding on for a while. Line 4, Cecilia out of the Bronx. You're on the Weekend Review. Hi.
Hi. Thank you for taking my call.
Yes, ma'am.
I want to make it very short and sweet. I am one true dedicated fan to the Open Line and the Weekend Review. And I would have never thought in a million years that today you guys will be coming to an end. And for the first time, my first town hall meeting was when you guys came up to the Bronx, and y'all were there for the charter versus public school format. Right. And I really appreciated that right then and there, because I was looking so forward to many more town hall meetings about things that's going on in the city and within other states and what's going on throughout this country itself. But like so many listeners, I am truly saddened, but at the same time, you've brought me so much joy to listen to so many different political aspects and what's been going on, and you truly are going to be missed. So I just really had to just
well, you know, one door closes, another one opens up. Thank you very much for the support, and I hope you'll get to us when we do resurface. We have a special guest on the live line. Cut man, this is Reverend Joe Carter out of Newark, New Jersey. And, you know, Brother Pickett, you know exactly.
Indeed.
And, of course, he was there with Whitney Houston's funeral and all of that. The brother is on the live line. Brother Joe, Reverend Joe? 910, sorry about that.
Hey, Reverend, how are you, sir?
Hey, man, we're holding up. We're here to support you, and our hearts are broken as well over here in Jersey.
Well, thank you very much, Reverend, for calling in. I can only imagine that you and your colleagues have been talking about this consistently over the last few days, huh?
Yeah, you know, on behalf of the faith community and all of the pastors and churches, we're hurt by this, but we do want to look at this in a broader perspective as another example of the social laryngitis that exists in our community. And we pray as you guys move forward, the BLS will open up the door for your voice so that your voice will not be silenced. We need to hear Bob Slade. We need to hear Open Line. We need to hear Weekend Review. We need Toya Beasley. We need Morning Inspiration. And we even need Antoine Quad. We need all of that because it represents the heart of who we are through Kiss FM.
Nice thought, Reverend. Thank you very much, Joe. We do appreciate your calling us. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And God bless you, my friend.
God bless.
Thank you, Reverend Carter.
Really appreciate that. We got a slew of phone calls. I mean, it's just crazy. The phone's ringing off the hook to line one. Talk to Michelle out of Brooklyn. You're on the Weekend Review. Hi.
Yes, hi, good night. I would like to say thank you to you gentlemen for all your selfless work that you've given to our communities. And I think that this is a time for us as a people to come together in our villages and really understand how to take care of one another and understand that this is not just the end. This is the beginning of us as a wake-up for us to see what's going on around us and take care of our own. And to understand that, you know, we can go forward. This is just goodbye. It's not, you know, farewell forever. This is just, you know, a stopping point just at this point, but we will continue as a people. And I would like to thank every DJ, every person that ever graced the mic at Kiss FM. I would like to thank you from the bottom of my heart for giving yourself selflessly to all of us listeners and being there for us. And I remember everyone, even Mama Montego.
Hello,
like
darling.
She used to say, like she used to say, and I would like to say to every one of you, walk good.
Walk good, yes, indeed. That's
speaking of
that was Freddie Rodriguez who did the voice of Mama Montego back in the day. She was a great broadcaster, a newswoman. She's up in Connecticut right now. Brother Fatine, you want to say something?
Yeah, I want to jump in here and I got a chance to speak this morning on an open line. And, of course, you know, Bob, you've been our leader. But I'm going to turn to my right first and ask this brother here.
Why is you wearing that daggone? No, go ahead.
Yeah, what I got on there? I thought, I got a New York hat on there. But turn to Brother Peter. I'm on your show. I got permission to speak, my brother?
Speak, brother.
There you go. All right, let me just say, you know, just to correct a little bit, you know, what my good former teammate, Bobby Childs had said, is one of the things about being in the sports situation is that Open Line and Weekend Review played a role in getting sports covered by blacks here in the city. Of course, Bob, you was in with the Yankees before we got here, but there was a tail off. And, of course, we have had Marion Boykin on the show, Doc Stanley on the program. And those brothers led the way and helped open the doors. And I remember when I got a chance to meet George Steinbrenner, who basically welcomed when I got a chance to go up to Yankee Stadium and also go into the Knicks and handing off to Bobby Childs of doing such a tremendous job, and Andrew Rosario. But let's come into the week in review. Peter, Peter was a brother I met, not in radio, but I met this brother in the trenches. This is a brother who was a warrior, still is a warrior, and this is a brother who broke stories that he would write things that a lot of people would not write, and he kept it real. He wrote things about those that we supported. He wrote articles for those that we didn't like. But one thing about Peter is he kept it real. And that's something that I respect with you. Brother Cut, I learned a lot from you from dealing with economics, my brother, and cutting through the chase and cutting through the BS. And another former colleague of ours was Ann Tripp. Then when the Week in Review, a lot of people may not know that I produced the Week in Review years back. And, I never forget when Annie had to fill in when Bob went down. And working with her just was a gem, just very, very, very easy. Brother Michael Cotman was there, and, of course, his role with the Million Man March. Bob Pickett, going back to the O.J. trial, he's not going to want to admit this, but I was the one that said that O.J. was going to walk, and he said, "Nah, Fatine, you're crazy." And, of course, that day we was going over to film Minister Farrakhan on Phil Donahue, and that's when the verdict came out. Brother Pickett, was I right?
You were.
I was right, my brother.
You were right.
The
jury was wrong, though.
Okay.
O.J. was guilty, yes, indeed. And guess where O.J. is now?
In jail for something totally different.
But there's two different things.
Yeah. And Bob Slade, of course I got a chance to talk about you and our role with Open Line, but Bob opened a lot of doors for me, not only producing here on the Week in Review, and as you said, you mentioned earlier about me producing Soul Beginnings, man, you come in this door, I said, Bob, let's get in there about 11 a.m. and we can get out by 9 p.m. Man, I'm taking cab service home at 1 a.m. in the morning, brother, because Bob was not a realist, but a perfectionist, and he wanted to make sure it was right. And I remember when we had to help put together Soul Beginnings, and Bob, you learned to put together your own Soul Beginnings show, brother, and the growth that we were able to help one another. You trained me on some things, and I was able to give back something to you. So, this program meant a lot to me, and even though I don't produce it anymore, we're family. And I just wanted to just personally come in this room and thank you all for the work that you've done, the work that you do, and the work that you will continue to do. And I thank you for being my colleagues and my friends.
Hey, Slade,
Thank you, Brother Fatine.
Do we have time for a live phone call from the biggest fan of Open Line in the Week in Review? Do we have time for that?
Well, who's that?
Joe Gonzalez. Where are you, Joe?
Joe's right here. Joe's right here.
Joe, get on the mic. This is a brother who's been at every event, Slade, that we've ever had. He loves the show, loved Open Line, and loves the Week in Review. Joe, real quick, in 1 minute.
We're going to miss you. The whole community will miss you. It was about the interests of the community. It was always about what was current and what was most important, not for the individuals, but for the masses of individuals who go nameless and faceless and don't always get a chance to hit the mic. So that's what drew me to the show for so many years, and we'll continue to in the months and years ahead.
Okay.
Well, we appreciate your loyalty and your support. He's been to the Newark, that 3,000 event that we had. And again, Joe, thank you very much for being there for us.
Let's go back to the phones, talk this more. Listeners line 7 is Eugene out of North Carolina. He's listening to us in North Carolina. Eugene.
This is not just any Eugene. This is the husband of Keisha Monk, Eugene.
Yeah. Eugene, how's Keisha doing? How's Keisha?
She's doing well. She's recovering. For those that don't know, she's going through chemotherapy right now.
Oh, okay. Give her our best, okay?
I sure will, man. We was finding all type of bootleg streams and all that other stuff. I have to get my Open Line no matter where I'm at.
Hey, Gene, say hello to Keisha for me, please, man. She boosted us all the time. All the
that's
time.
what I said. Listen, when there were no liners up in that system, but we always talked about open line because, this is where the information was.
Yeah, man.
And
Keisha, man.
hey, Bob, I told you about that Obama back in 2008, didn't I?
Oh, yeah.
You ain't the only one.
But listen, man, I just want to, it was a blow to us when we heard it, That was just unbelievable. Kiss is gone, but, we hearing the good vibes, so hopefully they'll do the right thing over there at BLS, and they'll snatch you guys up.
Well, please give our best.
Yeah, Gene, please hug and squeeze her for me, please.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, definitely will. Definitely will. We, she's a praying person, so we believe in God, so she's going to be well. Right now, you know how they say sometimes God, He got to put you to the side and hide you for a little while till it's time for you to make that comeback. So, but I'm not going to hold you guys up again. From me, Keisha Monk, I just want to say much love to all of you guys. And I'll see y'all soon.
Okay.
All right now.
You got it. All right.
All
Thank
right,
you
take
kindly. All right. Hey, about that. Keisha Monk,
Slade, so when do we get a chance to talk about each other? I mean, just the four of us.
At some point. I'll let you know.
Okay. I'm itching, brother. I'm itching.
Let some more of the audience. Nobody need to hear you.
No, I got something for you, brother. That's what I want to say.
All right. Very quickly, let's go to line 5 and talk to Denise out of Queens. Denise, you're on the Weekend Review. Hi.
Hey, how are you guys?
All right.
Listen, all right, first of all, I want to wish everybody at KISS, Open Line, Michael Basin's show, Weekend Review, the show that you used to do at 10 o'clock about talking about Remember the Time.
So
all of that, I want to wish all of you much success in your new endeavors. That's the first thing. Secondly, I'm ticked off about the way this happened. I don't know who thought about doing this, but I really don't like the way they did this thing. To me, New York still needs KISS. You guys speak to the community. You give us information that you make us think, right? This is not good. I'm not happy at all. I'm about to, and I used to like BLS, but I'm kind of upset with them. I don't know if I should be, but that's how I feel. But one thing I wanted to know, could Charles Etheridge explain the thing he was saying about Madison Avenue and dollars and whatnot, because I didn't quite understand.
All right, thank you very much for the call. Very quickly, cut man.
We spend maybe 10-15% of all dollars in New York City, but we don't get our fair share of advertising dollars. The money that should go to us go to other stations. For example, a white listener a station will pay $1.36 for that audience member. They'll give black radio 60, 70 cents. It's like when they did the Constitution. We were 3/5 of a person. Same game, right church, wrong pew.
Okay, very good. Now, right to the point. That's why we call you Cut Man. Let's go. I know. Let's go to line 2 and talk to, what's that name? Hardin out of Newark?
Hadrian.
Hey, Hadrian. Oh, I'm sorry. Hadrian.
Hey, Bob.
You.
Bob.
Yes, indeed.
Okay, dig this. You guys are going to be all right, and I just want to do a little tribute to all of you for all the work that you've been doing for the larger community. So here it is. Dig it. Did you all ever know that you're our heroes? You're everything we would like to be. You flew higher, higher than an eagle. You were the wind beneath our wings.
Nice, Hadrian. Nice, my brother.
All
very
right,
nice, very nice.
Peter Noel has a contract
Hadrian
for you coming up.
Look, guys, be safe and stay healthy.
You're welcome.
All right,
Thank you.
Our regards to your wonderful wife, man. All right.
Let's go to line 6 and talk to Lee out of Queens. You're on the Weekend Review. Lee, hello.
Hey, how you doing?
All right.
To you.
Thank you.
Families. It's just the beginning of something that starts once more. They say love nobody, but this is proof within itself. A community, half of that means unity. And you have done your deed, and you have another deed to do further for the people that's been blessed by your commentations. So it's like when you go out of town, like I drive sometimes, go out down south, and I drive back, and then when I tune in to KISS, it's like, wow, I'm home. It's like a reality check. And That's the only thing that we probably would miss. But again, you will be back. You'll be back again. It's just too strong to not be, regained.
Yes, sir.
So with that being said, I wish you the best, and come on back again.
All right.
Let's do this.
All right, let's do it. All right. By the way, you got a parting of the rivers now because the man has stepped into this place.
Yes, indeed.
Yes, indeed.
A legend in his own right.
Yes,
indeed.
At this time, a legend in my own mind. Real talk.
Yeah. The one and only, wait a minute, hold it. The one and only,
what is
the
it
one and
about
only
the
Ross,
evening?
wait a minute, whoa.
What?
The one and only Ross Lewis.
That's right.
There's
There's a story behind that, too.
You gonna take me there, right?
There's a story behind that.
Hey, but listen, what is it about Week in Review? Bob got the sexy voice on, then real smooth.
He's just tired. He's just tired.
Is that what it is?
He's tired.
Yeah.
That's all. Yeah.
Y'all beat him down.
I'm trying to take Lenny Green's job.
Oh, okay. Hey, listen.
Right about now, you take
everything's up in the
anybody's
air
job.
right now. You know what I mean? This is really one of those moments that you often thought would happen, but you never thought it would happen. This radio station, for me, at the time, I was in AM radio when this station was conceived, and you were taking it to the streets. And it was like, what? We got funky music in the middle of the dial. It's a big thing because radio historically, especially urban radio, black radio, soul radio, had always been at the end of the dial, usually on the right-hand side.
Right.
And every city in America you went to, if you wanted to know where the soul station was,
it was in the ghetto.
It was always on the end of the dial on some small powered radio station.
That's right.
But they always had all the listeners for some strange reason. And it seemed that same attitude transpired to FM because then the FM urban stations were always at the end.
Right.
And when this station came on and it was in the center of the dial, that was one of the biggest things about the inception of 98.7 KISS FM. And one would think that this can go on forever. We would go on to be the new heritage radio station. We were the station that started playing hip-hop on a regular basis with the mixes, as C alluded to earlier. You had master mixes on the station. We took the music, we customized the music. We even went so far as to have it playing during the day, maybe after 3 in the afternoon, and on the weekend we would play it all day.
Even in the morning.
And talking to Eric B yesterday, he was on my show yesterday, Eric B was saying that, for up-and-coming artists to hear their songs on a radio station in New York, if you were an MC or a rapper, gave you motivation that, man, maybe I may not have to get another job. That was a big thing for them to hear that. As time went on, the Classic Soul, this radio station brought back records, brought back songs that hadn't been played in the city in a long time when it moved over to be Classic Soul, when they made the transition. You heard Otis Redding records that had never played in New York, Bloodstone songs that really wasn't playing on the radio anyplace. This station did a lot of things first. And I guess this is keeping with tradition. We're one of the first to go in this matter. But, I'm grateful because I've had an opportunity to work with some incredible people and to meet, and I mean here in this building. I mean, we can all talk about the artists and everything that we all have come to know because of what we do, what we've been blessed to do. Take a hobby and make it a career. But the people that I've had an opportunity to work with, Bob Slade, like he was, like Chuck said, the first cat you saw when you came to KISS FM, sitting in that little room with the two Sony TVs, rocking in the chair. And I came in. I was a part-time announcer. Barry Mayo brought me in as a part-time announcer. This is when I was doing the Ross Lewis Act because the station I was working for, the checks were bouncing, and I hadn't yet quit. But I needed to get some money. My baby was still young. I needed to get some money to work to kind of hold the money over until the check cleared from the other place. Barry gave me an opportunity, and I got to the station playing the master mix tapes with God bless Tony Humphreys and the Latin Rascals, and I would go outside and stand on Broadway and listen to watch the cars pass by with Kiss on, saying, "Damn, I'm on Broadway in New York," after working in Jacksonville and all those little markets and stuff. But this is a good time because we got an opportunity to take stock in everything that we have been blessed to be involved in. So I'm feeling real happy right now.
I'm feeling grateful. And I think that the listeners, I know you're pained, but I think that we got to feel good about this. We understand the socio-economic economics of this. Of course, my brother Sanford always puts that on Front Street. And it is a lot of that. Maybe it's all of that. But for right now, I think that we should just cherish the memory of having been a part of this. And let's just hope that we can get ourselves another 20 or 30 years somewhere in this town or somewhere in these United States.
Mm-hmm. No doubt about it. By the way, you know, most radio stations, when it's time to change the format or switch or change whatever, they only give you a chance to say goodbye. At least we're getting a chance to say goodbye, and we thank the folks at MS for allowing us to do that. All right, what we're going to do is take a break, and we're going to spend our final moments reminiscing. Your phone calls as well. You're listening to the Weekend Review, the final minutes of 98.7 KISS FM. Don't go away.
98.7 KISS FM says farewell, New York. Over 30 years of great music and community service will live on starting Monday on 107.5 WBLS. Here's your KISS calendar.
Tune in to Shaila tomorrow for a special Midday Monday. She'll be giving away tickets to see the one and only Al Green every hour. He'll be performing live August 22nd at the Beacon Theater. If you can't win your way in, get your tickets from Ticketmaster.com.
For more info, log on to 987kissfm.com.
This part of KISS FM is brought to you by HUD to prevent loan scams.
All right, way to go, Michael. It's 11:43. We're counting it down. We got about 17 minutes left of 98.7 KISS FM. Welcome back to the Weekend Review, the last broadcast for 98.7 KISS FM. As a matter of fact, our good buddy Stephen A. Smith from ESPN Radio will be taking over at midnight, believe it or not.
Really?
Yeah, he will.
No one cares. Wow.
That's my man. I love him anyway.
We had him on the open line. And
There's nothing he can do about it. Yeah,
that's right.
There you go. We got a lot of guests on the live line. We're going to hit these folks real quick. We've got Tony Q, one of our former program directors on the live line. Tony Q.
Hey, Bob, how are you?
Just fine, my brother. You went through all the Weekend Reviews back in the day. You probably said to yourself, I got to take that show off the air. No.
No, never. You know, I was listening to Fred. I've been listening to you, and I know I got to make this short. But I'm kind of mad right now for several reasons. One, I think we have to bring regulation back into radio. And KISS FM became a casualty of conglomerate radio. And the KISS FM that's going off the air isn't the KISS FM that we created and made number one. And really, the threesome of us were the part of that. I mean, Fred was my assistant program director, Night Rocker. You know, you guys are the survivors of the originals. And somehow I feel kind of disappointed that I didn't get the opportunity to come back and fix it. And being an urban contemporary radio station that it once was music of the city, and with deregulation, it kind of segregated the music and took away the reflection of the city. And it's a shame. I think everybody's got a right to own a radio station. And with deregulation and the way the stocks and all that, it's a sad day. And KISS FM did not have to be a casualty. If deregulation never happened, KISS FM would still be on the air and going strong. Yeah. And it's sad. And I miss 98.7. I miss what it stood for. A lot of hard work. We had a lot of great talent. And we were the number one station in America. And that we can't forget.
That's right. Several times, as a matter of fact. And one time with you, my brother. No doubt about it. Tony Q.
And I'll miss you guys. And you'll always be in my heart. And we'll be around because it's a small world and a big business.
Hey. And I'm coming to Delaware for one of those airships on the weekend.
I was about to throw my hat in the ring, brother. If I can't land something, I'm going to call you up right now.
Wow. You got it.
Love you, Tony. Thanks for everything, man.
Yeah,
bye,
brother.
baby.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Tony Q.
We got Norman on
Tony
line, too.
Quarterone. Yeah, Norman Seabrook. Very quickly, Norman Seabrook from COBRA, the Correctional Officers Benevolent Association. Go ahead, Norman.
Hey, Norm, what's happening? How you doing?
Norman's on line 12.
Oh, there you go. The wrong line. There
Thank
you go.
brothers. I just want to say real quick, it's like, first of all, it's like sitting up until New Year's come at midnight. you know?
Right.
But, the bottom line to it is that the Correctional Officers Benevolent Association has done tremendous amount of money in advertising on KISS FM and on other radio stations throughout the city to keep our names out there. So have the UFT with Mike Mulgrew. So has the TWU with John Samuelson. So has DC 37 with Lillian Roberts. You talked about snowstorms. You talked about charter schools. You talked about elected officials running for different political offices, where all of these other stations don't give us those avenues. All of these other newspapers don't give us that ink. So I understand that the entire organization can't go over to WBLS, but those people that I just named, along with others that put up money for advertisement and things like that, we need to make sure that WBLS understands that the open line and the weekend review, we're asking for one day, comes to the table. Because if they don't come to the table, then the people that are listening that continuously call and say, well, I feel sorry for you, we need to show them how sorry we are that you're leaving by not turning on WBLS tomorrow and let them see that their numbers didn't move. If their numbers don't move, then they got to sit us at the table and say, well, why aren't my numbers moving? Why isn't Norman Seabrook and the Correctional Officers Union spending $100,000 a year to advertise with our station? Why isn't DC 37 putting up another 100? Why isn't TWU putting up another 100? That's $500,000 to $1 million just gone, just like that. So I'm in your corner. I mean, for team, and the third answer was at my granddaughter's funeral. This is personal, you understand? And we're going to do what it is that we have to do to make sure that the voice continues to be heard on Sunday mornings.
Brother Norman, thank you,
Norman.
Thank you very much, Norman. Really appreciate it. We got another guest on the live line with that comedian Kevin. Kevin, very quickly, brother, come on, say a couple of words, and we got to go to Shaila. Shaila is next.
Yeah, well,
very quickly, my brother.
Everybody's saying want to make this real quick. Well, I'm gonna make this real long.
Yeah. That's good. You're gonna get cut off too. We're counting it down 11 minutes. Go ahead.
Matter of fact, we start right now. Cut him off, son.
Oh, don't do me
cut
like
him
that. I gotta say this to the distinguished men in the room. But the only reason why I called to say this, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart, and I want everybody to know this and stamp it in history. I love you, Bob Slade.
My brother, thank you.
No,
appreciate
that's
that.
real question.
Yes,
Everybody
sir.
don't know this. Bob Slade gave me my start in radio. He's been my radio mentor and a friend. And I thank you for being there with you, Isaac Case, and Tripp, Crazy Mike Shannon, and to your disciples, I love Fatine, Peter Noel, Cutman, The Wicked Picket, and Ntume.
All right.
And I thank y'all so much. And I just want people to know that Bob Slade, sir, you are a beautiful man.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
And I really mean that.
Well, thank you kindly.
Godfather. And I mean that. And that's no joke.
All right.
I love you, sir.
I love you too, and nothing you can do about it.
10 minutes, ladies and gentlemen.
10 minutes away.
Thank you, Kevin. Kevin. By the way, before we go to Shaila, one last thing. DJ Cool Clyde came down here very quickly. I know our condolences to you. You lost your pops.
Sorry to hear that.
And you want to say a couple of words before we get ready to roll out? Go ahead, brother. Let me stand over there with Yankee clothes on. Come on.
First of all, I want to thank you. I learned so much from you, man. So much from all of you guys. From being up here with you, Jeff Fox, Sheila, Cutman, Peter Noel, Fatima Harmon. He brought me over to the Reverend Al Sharpton show. You know, I've been producing Open Line with you guys. I learned so much with Andrew Veras. I mean, just so many. Robin. It's just, I mean, I'm like tearing right now because this means so much to me, man. You taught the black community so much, man. And I bring this back home to my television show, BronxNet in the Bronx, man. So I'm going to miss all you guys, man. You know, and I know that y'all not going nowhere. I know eventually, somewhere down the line, you're going to have your avenue to give back to the black community, man. And I'm going to miss this. 98.7 KISS, WRKS FM New York. The first DJ to scratch on wax worldwide. You dig?
All right, we got that.
9 minutes left.
All right,
guys.
Shaila.
You know, we needed some estrogen all up in this farewell. You know that, right? A little bit more estrogen. But Bob Slade, I want to once again reiterate what everyone has said. You have been, every relative I can think of to me. You've been a father in radio. You've been a godfather. You've been a stalker. We know that.
Yes, indeed, Miss Shaila.
But, you know, I want to thank you because from day one, you have embraced me, and I think we have a lot in common, being that we were from Harlem, and I think, you know, coming up and wanting to be in radio, and for me, listening to KISS and seeing Chuck Leonard and hearing Mary Thomas, and just wondering if I would ever make it, and finally to be surrounded by these legends, the ones before me, and still we've got some in here that may come after me. I want to say thank you, New York, thank you for the music, the memories, and I'm hoping that that will leave an indelible mark on your heart where it will bond us, regardless of this frequency. It will bond us forever. Bob, I know that we are bonded, honey. Miss Slade already knows about me.
8 minutes.
8 minutes and counting. That was your sisterly kiss, by the way.
That was my sisterly kiss.
Okay, by the way, you can hear Shaila as the midday personality on WBLS starting tomorrow.
Yes.
And she'll be following. She'll be following Steve Harvey, and after that, of course, our boy Jeff Fox, and then plenty Lenny Green.
Right.
All right, you got
with the Quiet Storm.
Exactly. We got where's Cutman? Final word from you, very quickly. Go ahead.
There's not too much to say. It's been a good ride. Let's hope we find another horse.
And there you go. Peter Snowell, go ahead. I call you not Noel, but Snowell. Every time you talk, the snow comes.
I actually wrote a manifesto, but I'm not going to deliver it tonight.
Another rant, huh?
For cutters to my left, you know, I enjoyed in the early aspects of the show. I enjoyed attacking Cut when he raised other issues. And we kept this thing going. There's a love affair between Cut and I, and we did what we had to do, you know, to make some noise out here. And we have a large West Indian Caribbean community out there that listen to us religiously. And, you know, I want to thank them for coming in. I also want to thank here to my right here, Brother Pickett, who has been not just a friend, a lawyer, a loyal brother. And I want to just go quickly again to James M. Toomey, who brought me on the show. And stole me away from.
I'm the one that hired.
All right, yeah, brother. I'm gonna come to you. You know, stole me away from the villain voice. And
it was too much credit.
And last but not least, Shaila, you mentioned a father. Indeed, he is a father figure. He thinks he's the best journalist around, but I am. I taught him some journalism when I got here.
That's right.
But let me tell you something to you. He is quick. He is the only person who could do a show, start the show in the middle, and then you know exactly where you're going. I learned a lot about radio from Bob Slade. I can do this in my sleep now. I don't know what I'm saying, but I can do it in my sleep. So Bob Slade, Bob Pickett, you know, Cutman, you know, Nither, you know, who actually came, and she was a very young girl and didn't know anything about radio.
Now
she learned a whole lot. She learned a whole lot. Fatim Mohammed.
Wait a minute. This is now the naughty librarian.
Right.
Yes.
That's one of many nicknames you've given me.
I'm Brother Monk, and my good friend Robin, who's actually my wife. You know, Andrew Verse, Paul, who made a significant contribution, you know, to us, and he couldn't make it this time. Brother Monk. You know, and my good friend Bobby Childs, who on sports. I wanted to fight with him tonight, I just couldn't do it. Brother Big C, you know, and my good friend again, Bugsy. I want to whip him so much, but he does not. Every time I try to invite him to come in, he would leave.
All right.
He knows what's happening. But brother, thank you very much for the good run. I know you're going to see me and hear me again on somewhere.
Okay, you know it. Yeah, go ahead, Pickett. What you got?
Well, just real quick, I had the honor to be on two great shows. And the brother that's the glue for both shows is Bob Slade. There's no doubt about it.
Yes.
And it's been an honor to work with you and to be your colleague on Soul Beginnings and the Legend series. And I will always treasure and honor being able to say that I worked with the great legend himself, Mr. Bob Slade. But let me just say this about these brothers. Let me say this about these brothers. Peter, I love your brilliance and your fearlessness to argue things that sometimes you should not argue. And Cut, You are, without question, brilliant and on the issues. And I've loved working with you, my brother, and hopefully we can continue to work together.
Likewise, Bob. I'm going to miss all you people.
No doubt about it. And more importantly, we love all of you out there who allowed us to come into your homes, your living rooms, your cars every week to argue, to discuss issues that were important of the day. Thank you very much.
Now, once again, Pickett, you didn't watch the clock. All right, got 4 minutes to go.
Leave my lawyer alone.
Big shout to the Bronx.
By
But
the way,
you remember, Peter took up the clock now.
No, he was ranting. Let me just say this very quickly as we get ready to lock it out. There are a lot of stuff a lot of things that we still haven't finished. That we have a lot of unfinished business that I've mentioned before. We got the Central Park jogger situation. That's going on. The charter schools, back to the two black violence. We haven't finished those assignments. We have a lot of unfinished business, but as we say, everything comes to a finish here, but hopefully we'll pick it up and do it at another location.
There you go.
I want to thank you all very much. Thank the listeners for being with us. We're going to close out with this song, and we thank you all for all your support to 98.7 KISS FM for 30 years.
Yes, sir.
We love you.
Goodbye, everybody.
And there's nothing you can do about it.
Both of them at the same time in order for this whole thing to work for the people. Hey, look, nobody's closing me out of my business.
I'm not usually one that wants to work midnight. That's not usually me. I'm usually at a game or something like that. But tonight I could not miss it. It is truly an honor and a privilege to be the first voice right here at the new home for ESPN New York 98.7 FM. Couldn't be happier. Couldn't be more focused and dedicated to bring you the best sports talk we can possibly bring you. It is something I can promise you on behalf of the ESPN family you can always look forward to. To my friends at 98.7 KISS FM, now collaborating with WBLS, the great Bob Slade, Jeff Fox. So many of you guys have interviewed me over the years. I'm quite sure I'll still be hearing you guys, if not at BLS, somewhere. My heartfelt thanks to you for the 30 years of service that station has given the city of New York. Love y'all dearly. Grew up listening to y'all. But now we are here tonight as ESPN Radio, the new home for ESPN New York, 98.7, and there's a lot of stuff to get into. Number one would be the New York Knicks. Because as we sit here tonight, the New York Knicks, fresh off of getting stomped, beat down, bum-rushed, and embarrassed, 100-67, and to be quite honest with you, being due to the fact that I was there at that game, ladies and gentlemen, let me make something very, very clear to you. No matter what you saw on TV, no matter the beatdown that you witnessed, that you thought you witnessed, that the television cameras allowed you to witness, that the radio airwaves allowed you to witness, let me assure you, it was nothing compared to how it looked in person. That was a beatdown of epic proportions, the kind of beatdown that made you sit there and scratch your head and say, my goodness, did they really belong in this game right here? We all know that LeBron James and his Herculean effort is of no surprise. But forgive me if I'm a bit shocked that he outscored all 5 starters for the New York Knicks. 32-30. LeBron James by himself did that. Dwayne Wade showed up and contributed 19 points, but it really wasn't necessary. The New York Knicks committed 24 turnovers. They looked like just a bad version of the Bad News Bears. And that's, again, I'm being kind. And so what you have to ask yourself is that at this moment in time, as we look at these New York Knicks, where do they go from here? And what possible hope do they have to win this series? We try not to engage in hyperbole, and we try to be as honest and respectful as we possibly can, always over the airwaves of ESPN New York. And so in thinking that way and in feeling that way, let me be clear to you about my position, because just so you know, for future reference, I don't wear pom-poms. I'm no cheerleader. I call it like I see it. This is what New Yorkers do. And I'm not about to change for anybody. So let me just give it to you straight. I believe this series is over already. I'm quite sure there are people that will disagree with me. That's fine. You're entitled. 800-919-3776 is the number to call up. That's 800-919-3776. If we're honest with ourselves, this series is over. The question is not whether or not the Knicks have a chance of winning this series. The question is whether or not they have a chance of winning a game. LeBron James is healthy. Dwayne Wade looked healthy. Chris Bosh is healthy. I spoke to all three of them after the game. They said they're fine. They said they're fine. Spoke to guys like Mario Chalmers and Udonis Haslem and those boys. They say they're fine. Meanwhile, we don't even know if Tyson Chandler's going to play in Game 2 because he's still struggling with the flu like he was in Game 1, a game that in the aftermath of it all, in hindsight, we believe he should not have played, as awful as he was, 7 turnovers in the game. Iman Shumpert is a rookie. Nevertheless, he's considered one of the better, if not the best, according to some NBA aficionados, the best on-ball defender in the game. He's out. It's gone. It's over. Torn ACL and lateral meniscus. Third quarter, 6 minutes and 4 seconds left. It's when he had that injury occurred. He wasn't even touched. And so what that means is what that leaves you with. What that leaves you with, ladies and gentlemen, understand the magnitude of this. You had to have all hands on deck if you had a snowball's chance, and you know what, of winning this series. Now, your future defensive player of the year, because Tyson Chandler will win that award, is struggling with the flu. You don't even know if he's going to play. Your starting shooting guard, who recently was inserted into the starting lineup and is considered one of the premier defensive players in this game in your backcourt, he's out for the year, next 6 to 9 months to be exact, with a torn ACL and lateral meniscus. And Carmelo Anthony, the star himself, the man who wanted the bright lights of Broadway. 3 of 15 from the field, 11 points, 4 turnovers. The 10 rebounds don't really mean that much because 6 of them were offensive. And all that means to me is that they kept missing shots and he kept grabbing his own misses or somebody else's in the same uniform as his. I'm not buying that. This is really bad, ladies and gentlemen. So if you're the New York Knicks, what do you have to do? Is there any hope? Stephen A., come on, Stephen A., could you help us out, please? I mean, give us some help, will you? Please, please, pretty please, with sugar on top. I know that's what you're saying. I'll tell you where the hope lies. Carmelo's got to average about 35 or 40. What's the chances you think of him doing that? Amari Stoudemire, Mr. $100 million man, as your power forward. 2 for 7 shooting from the field for 9 points in 32 minutes. By the way, did I forget to tell y'all that the 2 field goals that he made was in the first quarter? First 5-6 minutes of the game? That means he went the rest of the game without scoring another point. And he actually went the final 3 quarters attempting only 2 shots. In the midst of a 32-2 run by the Miami Heat, with LeBron James and Dwayne Wade coming at you, with 2 stars on your front line that are getting combined $160 million. I'm sorry, that's what's owed left to them. Actually, it's more like 120 owed to them. But combined, they're signed for $185 million. But we're being technical here. I digress. The point is, these 2 guys, in the midst of a 32-2 run by the Miami Heat, were nowhere to be found. Ladies and gentlemen, this is bad. It's very, very bad. There's no way around this. And we're not going to sit here and sugarcoat it, and we're not going to lie. But rather than bloviate and go off and just irritate myself even more, rather than you hearing from me, I'll let you hear from them. Listen to Carmelo Anthony talking about Miami's defense and how it wasn't expected. Listen up. Do we have that sound? No, we don't. I apologize. Go ahead. Play that sound for me, sir. All right. 800-919-3776 is the number to call up. That's 800-919-3776. You know, We just have some technical difficulties. We'll get that straightened out for you in a second here. If you look at it right now, Carmelo Anthony and Amari Stoudemire, literally, they've got to come and save the day. They've got to pull it off for you. And contrary to what you may think, I think that's a great thing. It's an absolutely positively fantastic thing. That's what you want. It's what you need. It's not about a championship, ladies and gentlemen. You weren't getting that anyway. This is about finding out who's going to step up and get it done for you. Who's going to find a way to figure it out. It's one thing to lose. It's another thing to get blown out of the building. Embarrassed, beat down. You don't want that. And I happen to believe enough in the New York Knicks to think that they'll figure out a way to prevent that from happening. But to think for 1 second that it's going to be something more than that. Ladies and gentlemen, you got to get over it. This is the all-new ESPN New York on 98.7 FM.
For the Knicks, Game 1 was a complete disaster.
Hey, they hit us in the mouth, so we got to see what we made of now.
In Game 2, will Carmelo find his shot? And can the Knicks effectively replace Iman Shumpert?
Game 2 is Monday night. I expect a completely different effort, an actual effort from the New York Knicks.
The Knicks, the Heat, the playoffs. Game 2 coverage begins tonight at 6:30 on the all-new ESPN New York, 98.7 FM.